We've had a pandemic. I don't know if you're up to speed on this thing, but it has disproportionately affected small business. When we talk supply chain especially, on the live line with us this morning, the CEO of YOUnion, a company that was created out of frustration to help small businesses. Tomme Sheehan is on the live line with us this morning. Thanks for doing this today.
Hey, glad to be here.
So the company that you're part of has some suggestions to make things better, but let's start with how the problem is affecting small businesses, especially as we head toward the holiday, a time when many are hoping to recoup some of these losses.
Well, yeah, so the supply chain is really the way in which inventory is brought into the stores, right? So if you just look at it that way, when small businesses are unable to get the appropriate products and services that the big box stores have or the e-commerce stores have, it makes it so either they can't get the product or they have to, when they do get the product, they have to raise the price of the product. And so everything today, if you look at small business, everything today is against small business. And the only way that they have to compete is to increase their price because they have to pay more to get everything in the store.
So when you talk about ways out of this thing and ways that we can help, we've talked about especially Small Business Saturday before Cyber Monday. And you can buy stuff from local businesses online, too, if you'd rather not go to the store. Talk to us a little bit about ways that we can help and find ways out of this to keep those stores buoyed through all of this.
So here's the difference, right? You can buy online from small business, but once you buy online, that money leaves the your local community. So if you buy in the store, you're taking about 70 cents per dollar, and you're keeping it in your community. And it's the same money that's funding your music programs in your high schools, and it's the money that your politicians are able to create the parks and rec environments and the curriculum for those types of things. So, it's what we're doing is we're trying to make sure that owners keep the money local, and we're trying to make sure that we're working with the communities to educate the kids and the consumers as to when they support local businesses, how all of that coming together is great for the community.
Tomme, do we see this with agriculture? I know here with where we sit, we've got the Fruit Ridge and we've got, different suppliers when it comes to farmers markets and things like that, and they're utilizing it right here. But I also see that we're big into the craft beer industry here as Beer City USA in Grand Rapids. And, you see all of those local beers in our bars and our restaurants featured. That's kind of what you're talking about a little bit, but we're seeing that in those two instances, right?
Absolutely. But and the other thing is that if almost every business starts local and then expands, right? The internet and startup companies has made it glorious and, this glamorous, famous thing where you can go out, raise a bunch of money and extend the business out to the world. Unfortunately, less than 1% of companies hit that. So the majority of business innovation happens local, and you have to support that innovation in that local community. Once they figure out those business models and those things, they're able to scale. So when you're supporting those local beer, the local beer guys or the local fruit stand, and they're capable of being able to test the market, once they understand the right products and that what the consumer wants, then they're able to actually now scale those businesses. So it's all of that is supporting local, and all of that is giving them a growth path.
The CEO of YOUnion, a company created to help, Tomme Sheehan. A pleasure. Thanks for your time this morning.